Hi there, everyone. Let's talk about comparative adjectives and why it's not correct to say something like, I run more faster than you. It's a common mistake, very easy to make, but in this video, I will show you why it's technically not correct and how to avoid making that kind of mistake on your own. So first of all, an adjective is a word that describes something, right? So this is a board. What color is it? It's white. White is an adjective, okay? So adjectives describe nouns. The board is a noun, it's a thing. Nouns are person, place, things, ideas. Okay, so when you want to describe someone, sometimes we can also compare them or a thing. And when we want to compare two people or two things, we're oftentimes using an adjective or sometimes an adverb, which I'll talk about in a second. So for example, if I want to compare this marker and this marker, how can I do that? Well, I can write about the color and how bright the color is, okay? So I can say this color is brighter than this color, okay? But how did I know to do that? First, you need to know that you are comparing. So whenever you want to compare two things or people, you are going to need to use the comparative form of an adjective. So how do we do that? It's easy. All you have to do is add ER or more. But it's actually not that easy because sometimes people use both, and that's when they get the problem like the red marker is more brighter than the black marker. So when do we use ER? So we use the ER at the end of an adjective when the adjective is one syllable. That means one beat, okay? And to test a syllable, you can just put your finger at the bottom of your chin and talk. The times it goes down, that's how many syllable a word is. So if I say run, that's one syllable. If I say eating, that's two syllables, okay? So when it's a syllable, one syllable word, you just add ER to the end, but make sure you are using an adjective or an adverb, and I'll talk about adverbs in a second. So for example, large. That's one syllable. My mouth opened one time, large. So if I want to say that one thing is more than the other, I just need to say larger. And notice I just added an R because there was already an E at the end of the word, okay? So I can say my neighbor's house is larger than my house. Larger than, okay? Don't forget the word than, because when we're comparing, we always need to use than because there's two things being compared. So something's over here and something's over here. My neighbor's house is larger than my house. Or what about this syllable? Cold. This word, cold. It's one syllable. Well, to make it a comparative, just add ER, cold. It is colder in Norway than it is in California. We add ER also to the end of an adjective when it's two syllables and ends with a Y, like funny, sunny, okay? Two syllables and ends with a Y. So for example, sunny, I want to compare California's sunlight to Norway's. I can say it is sunnier in California than it is in Norway. And to write that out, what I need to do with this Y is take it away and add an I. And then add ER. California is sunnier than Norway. Funny. Take away the Y, add an I and ER. My brother and sister are funnier than other people. So that's when you add ER to an adjective. Now, in certain situations, you can't add ER to an adjective to show comparison. Instead, you have to add more. So in this case, more comes before the adjective, but the adjective doesn't change. And we use this word more to compare when the word is 2 syllables or more. Most 2-syllable words or more syllables, okay? Like boring, expensive, inaccurate. These are long words. They have many syllables, at least 2, okay? And when you have that, just put more in front of the word. So maybe the movie I watched last night was more boring than, don't forget the word than the movie I watched the day before that. Expensive. My book is more expensive than my backpack. Okay, so you want to put more before the long adjectives. Now, don't think that that's the end of that, because of course in English, there's always weird, annoying exceptions, and this is a big one. There are irregular adjectives in the comparative form. 2 really big ones are good and bad. So when we want to say that one thing is more good or more bad than another thing, we can't say gooder or badder. Even fun, we don't say funner. Instead, with good, we can say better. Yeah, my essay this week is better than the essay from last week. Or bad, you can say worse to compare. My essay this week is worse than my essay from last week. Okay, so be careful. Good is better. Bad is worse. Fun, you can say more fun. Watching videos on YouTube is more fun than doing grammar exercises. So that's with adjectives. We also can create comparative adverbs. So this is just quick. An adverb can do a lot of things, but for this video, I just want to focus on the adverbs that describe actions and describe verbs. So certain adverbs can tell us more about an action. For example, every time I walk, I try to walk quickly. How do I walk? Quickly. Quickly is an adverb to describe the action of walking. I walk quickly. I try to speak clearly. How do I speak? Clearly. So most adverbs end with ly, but not all of them, but most of them do, okay? So when we want to describe and compare the way that 2 things act or 2 people act, we can use a comparative adverb by adding er after the adverb, like this. So here I have 2 adverbs, clearly and quickly. Now, what I said about adjectives that end with a Y, that are 2 syllables, is not the same as what you do with an adverb that ends with a Y, that's 2 syllables. Here, all you have to do is add the word more before the adverb. So you just add more. I tried to speak more clearly to my students than, okay, don't forget than comes after. I tried to speak more clearly to my students than I do to my friends. Or, my brother runs more quickly than I do. Okay? So you just need to put more before the adverb. However, sometimes you need to use er. When do you use er? For those irregular adverbs that don't end with ly. Because remember, most adverbs end with ly, but some don't. So for example, slow, fast. These are adverbs that describe an action. I talk slow or slowly. I run fast or quickly. Okay, we do use these as adverbs. Okay, and when you want to compare, what you can do, since they are one syllable words, is just add ER. Okay, so I speak slower than my husband in Spanish, or I walk faster than my children. Just add ER if it's one syllable. Okay, so now you know the rules for making comparative adjectives. You can use ER or more, but you can never use them both at the same time. You only need one, ER or more. Don't use them both at the same time. If you do, people understand you, it's fine. But if you want to avoid the grammar mistakes, try to just use one. But there's rules. Okay, bye. I hope this was helpful. Bye-bye.